Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's great to have you. If you're returning, it's good to see you again. In this video, you'll receive my channeled message plus a page from the Daily Guidance Angel book and also a card from the Healing Oracle Love Deck. Before I get into the message, please note that this is a collective group message, so it may not resonate with you today, and that's simply okay. Come back tomorrow where it may be aligned with what you need to know. All right, let's get into today's message. Emotional unbalance. What is emotional unbalance? It is when you are in a heightened emotional state of anger, sadness, overwhelm, panic, stress, anxiousness, frustration, and any other emotion that you can add to that list that I haven't mentioned. When this happens, you not only place strain on your whole body, it massively impacts your ability to logically think. How many times have you regretted saying things when you're emotionally heightened? So when you are angry, it may have been in an argument, you've blurted out these things only to have massive regret afterwards. Have you ever wondered why that happens? Maybe it's just because you lose the ability to logically think and process stuff. How many times have you got frustrated when you're doing something? It could be a task, putting a piece of furniture together from IKEA. I don't know, that's just come up because I've felt it in the past, the frustration for myself. And when you walked away, you took a few deep breaths and you went back to that project or whatever it was you were doing in a calmed state. Did you find that you were able to figure it out really easily? Or it all fit together and everything just worked out? How many times have you found that? I know in my lifetime, there's been quite a few. Because it just really does highlight that you lose that logical ability. So to simply put it, right? You lose so much of your intelligence and your logical thinking ability. However, also, it impacts greatly on your body. It can place so much strain and even cause you to carry tension in your body. So it feels like this. Can you, over time, what dis-ease does that place on your bodily functions? And what I mean by that, if you are a lot of the time in a state of stress, I'll use stress or anxiousness or, those words that almost when you hear the words, does this, you can feel this contracting, like your body would be tight. When we're angry, we tense up. When we're frustrated, we tense up. When we're stressed, we tense up. When we're anxious, we tense up. The whole body goes into this state of, I hope that when I do that, you can actually feel it. Yeah? It's really important. So not only do you lose your logical ability and some of your intelligence only when now this is only why you're unbalanced, okay? It's not, it comes back when you get back down to calm. It's not permanent. I just want to be very clear on that. And it's just come, the next thing is the task that I would love you to do is the next time that you get angry, anxious, frustrated, overwhelmed, what do you feel? What do you feel when you're in those unbalanced states, emotional states? What are you feeling? What is your body holding when you get emotional, in that emotional state? Because know that if that's the case and your body is like this, what strain are you putting on all of your bodily functions, your heart, your liver, your all of your gut? What strain are you putting on that? Have you ever looked at that? Can you feel your whole body tighten? How about your gut? How does your gut feel when you're angry? How does your gut feel when you're frustrated? How does your gut feel when you're anxious? Have you ever taken time to take note of that? Have you ever taken that into consideration of maybe why your body is not functioning at 100% capacity? Because just as it impacts your emotional state of being, where is the emotions? We have an emotional part of the brain, but that's more not feelings. It's really important to take note of this. I really just want to plant food for thought. And another thing, how has feeling sad impacted your energy level? When you feel sad, do you feel like you walk hunched over? Do you feel like your head is down? Do you feel like you're more tired? So even when we're emotionally unbalanced, feeling sad, that impacts our body in such a different way. It causes our energy levels to drop. Would that then maybe, and you know, some of you, if you're sad, you're not eating, you're not hydrating. So what stress does that put on your bodily functions? Does that then lower your immune system? Especially if you're not nurturing and hydrating your body, when you're not fueling your body like it should. And bear in mind, no difference to when you're angry, frustrated. What are you doing to your body? Are you still hydrating it? Are you fueling it? These are all the things that need to be considered. And this is purely offering a different perspective. It's food for thought. Again, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I am purely offering a perspective. Food for thought. Have you taken this into consideration? Is all I'm basically saying. And like, yeah, the hunched. I see some people, and just by the way they walk, I can almost identify their emotional, well, not almost, I can mostly identify their emotional state. Take note of people. I observe people because it gives me a better understanding of body language. What is their body language saying about their emotional and mindset state of being? It's so important to become consciously aware of how being emotionally unbalanced impacts you. I hope that today's video has offered you a different perspective that you had not thought of or even taken into consideration. It's so important to really be mindful not only of our mindset state, but our emotional state. And know that when you get frustrated, angry, that you become unbalanced, and therefore your ability to logically think and your intelligence drops. It can drop dramatically. And the longer you sit in that state, the longer your ability to logically see things for what they really are lessens. So it's a great practice that if you can feel yourself getting emotionally unbalanced, breathing is one of the most simplest techniques to bring in, to bring you back to balance, to bring you back to calm. However, that tool is useless if you don't choose to implement it. And you don't just breathe twice and go, it doesn't work. It takes slow, deep breaths and hold that breath and blow that breath out. 3 times may work, but maybe you need 6, 10. It doesn't matter. You keep breathing till you can feel yourself come back to a place of calm. And another tool is put some earbuds in and find that this music that really resonates. It could be raindrops, wind, Tibetan music, like sounds of drums, flute, whatever works, but find what works for you. And then when you get in those states, put your ears in and just focus on the music. Close your eyes and just focus there and watch your whole body just feel like, do you have the ability to flop? I had a client that I said, practice just being floppy. And you should have seen his face. It was like, I said, what's with the face? He was already being worried about being floppy. And I go, what, don't you just relax your body? And he's like, nah. I'm like, wow. So his body, day in, day out, is continuously in a state of stress, in a state of tension. It's like this. That's his body every day. So what are you doing to yours that you haven't connected just purely from your emotions? Take note next time. So let's continue on to the daily guidance angel book. What have we got? Okay. All right. If this isn't telling you what is, I spoke about deep breathing and now they're saying meditate. And I speak about deep breathing because it's the alternative. The word meditate doesn't resonate with everyone, and so some people will shut off that idea. They believe, or their perception, or even maybe your perception of meditating is you got to go and cross your legs and all of that. That's not necessarily the case. It can be as simple as even listening to raindrops, beautiful music, close your eyes, focus in and tune into the music and really hear it, and just focus on your breathing. Do deep breaths, slowly deep breaths. Meditation simplistically is quietening of the mind. And so exactly listening to some music and just focusing on breath is quietening the mind. Quietening the mind means shutting down thoughts. That's simplistically, yeah? And so how often do your thoughts stop where there's just silence? And you can just hear crickets, which is nothing. How often do you do that? How often do you get your body to just flop? Where you just lie and rest outside of sleeping, but during the day, or is every day you're running like this? I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. That is not good over a long period of time for your body and your bodily functions. What dis-ease are you causing your whole body? Is your body every day operating in a state of tension? That's not good. Because tension, what would that do to your arteries? Is that blocking arteries? I'm not saying this is. I'm just saying take into consideration. Is your blood flowing? If you're tense, how's your blood gonna flow? These are just things to take into consideration, and maybe you can assist with whatever, your doctor is recommending for you. I've seen a lot of people lately with high cholesterol. And I'm going, well, that's to do with, fat and arteries. And I go, if your body is so tense, then is the fat that you're absorbing flowing through, or is it getting congested because there's narrow airways, well, not airways, but arteries for it to flow through and it's not flowing? I just ask that question. I go, ask your doctor. What can you do outside of tablets? What can you bring into your diet, dismiss from your diet? What exercise can you bring? Will meditation, bring in meditation, yoga, Pilates. Look broader. Don't box yourself. That's all this is. So meditate. Close your eyes with me. Take a deep breath. just so you can absorb the words from this message. Approach meditation with ease as a joyous escape. After all, you practice the activity naturally during moments of daydreaming or lucid awareness. Be unconcerned with rules or guidelines, lest this become a chore of drudgery. Absolutely. Instead, allow your mind to quieten itself at its own pace, and compassionately let your body slow down of its own accord. This is meditation. It's time when your mind is completely connected to your heavenly home. Think of it as hooking up to a fuel station where you're filled with energy, ideas, and tranquility. There are countless ways to calm your mind, and we just mentioned you shouldn't burn yourself with worries about your specific method. Hear that. Your specific method. It doesn't matter how you get there to quieten your mind, as long as you get there. Understand? That you meditate is more important than how you do so. Closing your eyes and breathing deeply, just as I mentioned, is one technique, as in sitting in front of an altar or relaxing outdoors in nature. For some of you, a beautiful walk and just observing the trees, the birds, is quietening the mind. You're being in the present moment and really absorbing all the beautiful things that you're surrounded by. Yeah? I hope that's one of my ways to meditate, is going out to nature. Listening to the water, the birds, the trees rustle, the leaves fall. The words meditate and medicate share the same root for a reason. Since they're both approaches to health, meditation is your free and portable healing agent whose only side effects are peace of mind and rejuvenation. Approach it as you would a delicious meal, for it's a true spiritual banquet. Enjoy your tranquil moments today and in spirit of feeding your needs and desires. Hear that. Today, in the spirit of feeding, nurturing your needs and desires. Your desires, your goals, your dreams. It's so important. Thought for today. I meditate in whatever way feels most comfortable and natural. I am mentally at ease and fully connected to spirit. I allow myself the freedom to quieten the mind and listen. And I'm also going to say I am mentally at ease and emotionally at ease and fully connected to self. Okay? Really important. So that's just given you and reaffirmed that it is time to quieten your mind. Allow yourself that space. Allow yourself to really reflect on how, when you get in any unbalanced emotional state, how it impacts you. Or we can word it a different way, a heightened emotional state. Angry, frustrated. How does that impact your ability, your intelligence, your logical ability, but also how does it impact how your body feels internally? Can you feel the tightening of the gut? Can you feel the tightening of the whole body? Take note of that, because when you recognize that and you're consciously aware of that, it's only then can you work to remove it or decrease it, yeah? And to shift it. The mystic. What I get from this is anything is achievable. For some of you going, I don't know how. That's what's coming through. I don't know how to do this. I've given you the tools. And if that is because, you're going, I can't do this, you can do anything you choose to do. It's about how much it matters to you. How much does it matter to you? How much is you being in an unbalanced emotional state impacting not only you, your overall well-being, and your life, your relationship with your children, work? How is that impacting? I'm going to say, if you do that reflection and you look at every area of your life, you're going to really discover that when you're emotionally heightened, it impacts a lot. And it's not only you that it impacts people that you love. So take note of that. And, I love the star in the third eye. So for me, it's saying take that time to reflect. Honor you. Don't just dismiss this. I've given you some tools. Walk in nature. Take deep breaths. Quieten the mind. Take note of how you feel when you become angry, frustrated, anxious. What's going through your thoughts? Are they truth? Are they lies? Become more self-aware. So what does the mystic have for us today? Before I read this, if you want to close your eyes, take a deep breath, just so you can absorb the words from this message. It is time to awaken the sleeping psychic mystic within. These qualities which you have always possessed are reawakening. Trust your intuition, your gut. The next time an unusual thought enters your mind or you have a gut feeling about something, pay close attention. What is the thought or feeling trying to tell you? For those who are already aware of their psychic ability, the Mystic card is here to remind you to use and integrate these abilities more into your everyday life. Oh my goodness. Could this be better to reaffirm? Pay particular attention to your intuition. Over the next few days, you will receive important news, so keep a journal and a pen handy. This, for some of you, absolutely, you're going to, receive some important news. But for some of you, this is really just showing you a way to really get to know you, to really get to know what makes you tick, what triggers you, and how, when you're in a heightened emotional state, meaning you're emotionally unbalanced, right? How that impacts your overall well-being. So your intelligence, your ability to logically think, how is it impacting? How's your gut feeling? How's it impacting people around you? How do you react to it? That's like there's inner guidance there. There's so much inner guidance. When people say to me, I don't know, I go, you do know. It's only a matter of you tapping in to find it, because you're trying to find it from here. You're trying to think the answer. You don't need to think the answer. You only need to feel the answer, and the answer is within you. When we stop and take note of our body and really get to know the way that we work, you will be able to identify all your whys. There will be no more I don't know. However, you've got to choose. And it's a great way to start is to recognize what's going on when you're emotionally unbalanced and how does it impact you. Let's start. We got to start somewhere. And so this is a beautiful tool and a beautiful reminder. So honor yourself and allow yourself to discover you and know what makes you tick, how you're wired, how certain situations impact you, because then you've got all the knowledge to be able to bring tools in to eliminate and maybe even work on those reactions or those triggers to one day eliminate them. Wouldn't that be better than continuously having to bring in tools? I say to people, why do you want to make life hard work? Heal what the triggers are, the cause, throw them out, and then you don't need tools. That makes logical sense to me. Why do I want to keep repairing something? No. I don't want to repair. I want to absolutely fix it. Or throw it out, even better. Throw it out so I don't need to repair it. That's a better way to put it. I didn't feel that made sense, thank you. Throw it out. You don't want to keep bringing in tools that you keep having to repair things. Oh, that's just like going around and round and round in a cycle. Who wants to be doing that? That's hard work. When you get to know yourself, you're not going to need, and when you heal those things, you don't need to keep fixing them. and bringing in another tool and another tool and another tool because they only last for a certain amount of time. Oh, that doesn't work. I need to bring in something else. And you keep bringing in new things. At what point do you go, hang on, something's not quite right here. I need to throw this thing out. It's old. I don't want to have it anymore. When does that light bulb go on? At what point? When you've endured fixing it for 10, 20 years? Hell no. I'm offering you another perspective. Stop fixing things by bringing in new tools. Identify what impacts you and what's going on in the body through emotional unbalance. And then throw it out. Don't repair it. Throw it out. So I hope that you've gained something little from today. Just something that's triggered that light bulb moment for you. Because that's at least one step forward. And celebrate that one step. Because you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset. So invest in you every day. Every day. No excuses. No excuses and no justifying. You matter. So nothing else should be as important as you. I want to thank you for spending your time with me, as I absolutely respect your time is valuable and I am grateful for it. And if you enjoyed today's video, I would be so grateful if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's cat's message of the day. So for today, take care.